Hi, I'm Bob Joseph, President of Indigenous Corporate Training. Welcome to Working Effectively with Aboriginal Peoples. This workshop is broken up into 4 main segments. In the first segment, we're going to talk to you about a historical perspective of Indigenous peoples and how they find themselves in the New World at the time of Columbus's arrival. In the second segment, we're going to talk to you about the political, legal, and constitutional context of Aboriginal peoples in Canada today. In the third segment, we're going to share with you the business case for working effectively with Aboriginal peoples. And in the fourth segment, we're going to talk to you about those hints, tips, suggestions, things that we think you can do to help you work more effectively with Aboriginal peoples. Here at Indigenous Corporate Training, we're confident that after sitting through this presentation, that you'll feel more comfortable working with, well, people like me. Thank you. To lead off working effectively with Aboriginal peoples, we're going to talk to you a little bit about how the Indigenous peoples find themselves in North and South America at the time of contact with people from other nations. Now, for a really long time, the scientific community believed that the Indigenous peoples here at the time of contact with those people from other nations found themselves here by way of land bridge at the end of the last ice age. The theory was one wave of migration, people of primarily Asian descent, crossed a land bridge to populate North and South America about 12,000 years ago. And it was based on some archaeological evidence that came out of this place called Clovis, New Mexico. And in Clovis, New Mexico, they found all kinds of implements, tools, arrowheads, spearheads, adzes, those kinds of things. They found them in about 12,000 years of dirt, and it supported this idea that the Indigenous peoples found themselves here by way of land bridge at the end of the last ice age. So it stood in place for about 80 years. Most recently, watching a documentary on the Discovery Channel called Stone Age Columbus. In Stone Age Columbus, the principal character was Dr. Bradley from the Smithsonian Institute. And Dr. Bradley studied Clovis Point technology. He knew the materials, he knew the process, had spent a lot of time discovering it, and he also knew that there were always little challenges with the technology, with the theory, and so he set out to test the land bridge theory. One of the first things he did was backed up towards the land bridge. The closer he got to the land bridge, the less material he found. And so that was the first piece of the puzzle. The next thing he did was sort of traveled around through the tribes in the United States taking blood samples, and he sent them off for mitochondrial DNA analysis. And the analysis came back, and what it told him was that really, North and South America have been populated by continuous waves of migration over a period of at least 16,000 years from all over the globe. So it really challenged that land bridge theory, and that's really where the Western science is today. Continuous waves of migration over a period of at least 16,000 years from all over the globe. So that's the scientific theory. Ask any of the Aboriginal people that you'll work with, hey Bob, did you guys cross a land bridge to find yourself in the place in the world that you're from? And by and large, we won't talk to you about land bridges. We'll talk to you more about creation, how we find ourselves in the world. And there's lots of examples of creation around the country. There are a very diverse group of Aboriginal peoples here in Canada. Where I come from, for example, we believe that a thunderbird had the ability to fly through the heavens and the different cosmos and came down and landed on top of a mountain called Mount Stevens in the traditional territory of the Gwawaynock people, and transformed into a human shape, becoming the first ancestor of the Gwawaynock people. So that's what we believe. You'll see other examples, Bill Reed's People and Creatures Crawling Out of the Clamshell at the Museum of Anthropology. That's a Haida creation story. So you'll see all of these creation stories, and that's really the cornerstone value for Aboriginal peoples. We really believe we're where we are in the world because our Creator put us here. We literally live on the lands that God gave us. And I know before you think it sounds all funny, we don't think it sounds any more funny than being able to walk on water, to be able to part the sea, to be able to come back from the dead. It's just what we believe. And of course, Western science poses lots of challenges for religious beliefs all over the place. But the main thing is creation. That's what we believe in. We didn't come here from anywhere. And that's what the driving values for Aboriginal people are. They've been here for 16,000 years. they're planning or trying to figure out how to be here for another 16,000 years, and that often is in conflict with what's happening on out there in the real world, where we live in quarterly, semi-annually, and even 5-year plans. We've got Aboriginal peoples who are planning thousands and thousands of years, or the common expression is 7 generations. They're making decisions that will impact positively for 7 generations into the future. So we're in a values conflict over time when we're working effectively with Aboriginal peoples. And to keep it in mind, as time will be one of the big things that you'll have to wrestle with. And so creation, really the cornerstone value for Aboriginal peoples, and one of the first things that we wanted to share with you. Thank you.